Well though, good evening everyone. Selamat datang how's you doing? I hope very well today and tomorrow also. Yes, this is time. This the great time to explanation, to explain, explore, and I'm going to give you a full review and analyzing about the game of Ghost of Tsushima will upcoming up on PS4 exclusively before PS5 is upcoming up in this year. Yes, without anybody do, let's do it everyone. Ikuzo Mina Section 1 Unveiling who is Jin in my character, release date and many more. Ghost of Tsushima is an exciting PS4 exclusive RPG coming this summer. The stories take place on the titular islands of Tsushima, as Japanese customs on the island are challenged by invasion of the Mongols. Here is everything we know about the game so far. Developed by Sucker Punch, the minds behind Sly Cooper and Infamous. The game represents a change in direction for its developer. The studio is now delving into the lands further of Japan and role-playing games, away from its roots in the platforming adventure. Trusted Review has complained everything you know to know about the Ghost of Tsushima, including all the latest news, release date, trailers, and game will review ahead of the summer 2020. Can't wait. Yes, can't wait. Ghost of Tsushima gameplay details are finally out in the wild after years of anticipation, thanks to the latest state of the play broadcast from PlayStation. With 80 minutes of footage that showcase exploration, combat, skill customization, and even details for impressively hidden out of the bottom mode, it was definitely worth to wait. There was more than enough detail in the video to pour over from now to the Ghost of Tsushima release date on July 17. Thought developer Sucker Punch states that it has so much more to show in the future. The open world adventure looks as deep as it is beautiful, using the history of the feudal Japan for inspiration, and looks set to be one of the last big blockbuster for PS4 before the PS5 muscle its way into the limelight in the end of the years. In Infamous, you explore powers. In this game, we let you explore what it is to be a samurai inside of the enormous landscape of medieval Japan. Say creative director Ned Fox. Yes, that's the director of the Ghost of Tsushima, said that one. Jin Saka has a katana, a grappling hook, and a faithful horse to help him, but taking on one of the most intimidating armies in history is still guaranteed to be challenged. Here is everything we know about the game, from gameplay details, new trainers, and fresh news. What is the Ghost of Tsushima? Set in the province of Tsushima, Japan, you play as a samurai exploring an open world and engaging in vision. From an extended look at Ghost of Tsushima at Sony A3 2018 press conference, it seems that still will to play a substantial part in the game, as will some frankly brutal melee combat. A test 1v1 duel was also featured, which appear to rely on you not inflict until the exact moment is time to strike. It was this 1v1 fight that gave us our best look at the title's combat, which seems to place a heavily emphasis on parry in your enemy's attack. Okay, move on to section 2. Gameplay, combat system, character, NPC, environment, and many more. Ghost of Tsushima is the main character is Jin Sakai, To tell a good samurai story, you first need a good samurai. Protagonist Jin Sakai is one of the last lines of defense against the Mongol hordes that are invading Tsushima, but fortunately he got katana skill drifting on one main army. Rather than some ornate armor, Jin preferred to wear a straw raincoat to better insulate himself from the rain and winds. His red attire mirrors the red leaves that swirl and drift around the islands. That's the future in the gameplay trailer. Of course, Jin can't possibly fight off the Mongol army on his own. He has to gather allies like Masako, not Michin, the skilled archer who featured prominently in the gameplay debut. Her alliance with Jin goes south when he protects the monk that she wants revenge on, resulting in the duel event as the enemy force approach. Clearly, recruiting the people of Tsushima to fight by your side would be easy, but it is ultimately necessary. Okay, in the Ghost of Tsushima gameplay has four stealth and grapple hooks. As you probably already guessed, Jin is a master of the sword, and there will be plenty of melee combat as you cut through the Mongol invader, and there are many scouting parties. From what we have seen, the skirmish focus on the art of the counterattack, with Jin patiently waiting for his opponents to charge with before deflecting their strike and slicing them for the kill. When it is your against many, you will need to properly time your counter to war of all types of weapons, likely sword, spears, and shield-storm. There are also stealth segments, which is gift of series 10 to 5, on the PS1, where you can get the jump on a group of the enemies and trigger a time-slowing targeting system that lets Jin execute multiple full in quick section. To help you reach better ambushing spots, Jin has a grappling hook to quickly scale structure. He can even throw in odd mind jump, much like the Nathan Drake acrobatic scrambling in Uncharted 4. Okay, in this Ghost of Tsushima, this game, open world adventure, is set in feudal Japan. Sucker Punch's new game moved away from the industrial citizen of the infamous series in favor of feudal Japan. It is year 1274 and you are on the titular island of Tsushima, Japan. And you can see from the gameplay trailer up top, it is rather stunning. Yes, dope. Very dope. You play as one of the last surviving samurai warriors, and 1274 just happens to be years the Mongol Empire invades the islands of Tsushima. So it's time to get your samurai on the fight to protect your homeland. When we hit up the Mongol invasion of Tsushima of 1274, it all clicked, explained Nathan Fox of the game director at Sucker Punch. Suddenly, you knew who the heroes were, who the villains were, what the stakes were of the world, and you had a video games. The decision to stay open world following on from Sucker Punch's success with the infamous 1, 2, and infamous Second Son were apparently clear from the start. We wanted to stay open because we are giving authority and power to the player. We didn't want to away from that. We think it's integral to modern gaming that players are in charge. All of the one shown in our debut trailer was captured in one engine. That's the interactive world we're painstakingly crafting together. That's the world we're going to set on fire. The artists and engineer here at Sucker Punch have brought the new world to life on PlayStation 4. From tall grass blowing in the wind to the call of the fall of the crane, we want to make it feel real. According to Sucker Punch, the action will take place on the huge islands filled with the different places, towns, and people. Apparently, as the last samurai, you are going to have to abandon your honorable tactics of the old to forge a new way of fighting. Literally, the way of the ghost. That explained that title then. The reveal trailers show off just some of the weapons and gameplay feature, including katanas, longbows, and armored horses. Next to the Season 3 Summaries, or at the last of this opinions section. Okay, Ghost of Tsushima trailer. How does it look? This cinematic trailer accompanied the original release announcement from Sucker Punch. Okay, more recently, the developer in his way an all gameplay trailer showing of the game various combat, skill, exploration feature, and we love the game minimalist styling, not the complete absence of the huge and the visual. Take a look below. Yes, along you watching these schemes are include trailer, hell, healthy disaster, doped. Yes, doped. For additionally to the gameplay, the Ghost of Tsushima trailer showed during Sony A3 2018 press conference came immediately after The Last of Us Part 2. As thought had to follow for anyone, it also left many viewers with more questions than answers, despite its utterly stunning showcase. Seeing the team behind Infamous, vision of the feudal Japan, which is its stunning huge open world, and how Jin and our lead character fits with it. It was a nice first look, but it wasn't until the behind closed door season with Sucker Punch confounder. Yes, the game is vision of feudal Japan is not hamstrung by a story. For this presentation, that the team is not allowing themselves to be slave or to the story. The devs are taking artistic license when it comes to historical accuracy, and how it will shade up in the finished appearance remains unclear. And therefore, the story that unfolds becomes inherently more interesting. You play as Jin, a man raised in the art of samurai who must defend his islands from a Mongolian invasion. However, all of the Jin's masters have been slain during the conflict, thanks to the Mongolians not conforming to the rules of the samurai. And again, the sound of the background is sweet. The background is sweet. Sorry for the sweetness of the background music. This answers a big question that I had about the game. Being an open world experience, it is which we play as samurai. I fear of the processing system. Sucker Punch has always delivered excellent leveling mechanic and a well-patched unlocking of the new ability, but I couldn't envision how a samurai could unlock a new outfit of the special power. This will answer this truth of the story. Jin must adapt to make the decision to abandon his teaching in order to beat a monoliths. And in the Lighthouse, the game will allow new weapons and techniques to be unlocked. He does point out, however, the players can choose to play through the experience as the samurai, but during the post-demo Q&A, this is not to be the Dark Souls style experiments where players can end the game how they start without any form of leveling up. We then come to the first fight, the trailer, this time being played in real time. Jin's Jutsu, the samurai art of strike delivery as the sword is drawn. Its the skill is earned in this game. And in so once again, there are skills such as this have the potential to imitate other enemies and the encounter, and the two others Mongolians noticeably step back in fear as the strike lands. Each fight will reportedly be a stiff challenge at cycle points wants every encounter to feel worthwhile and meaningful. Your success in fight comes down to timing blocks, countering, and strike. Watching the swarm fight happen in real time, the game looks thriller. And the last is I did have concern about the camera. Through watching the developer controlling the demo, it looks like the camera is manually controlled by the player, and attacks are done using the face button, which is foolproof finally during hit etching. Camera control would unfairly punish the player. Time will tell whether or not this will be the case. When Jin approached the house to rescue the monk, yes, that players can approach this mission in multiple ways. If you like, you could enter via the front door and challenge all the Mongolians inside to fight, or you could option for the stealthy approach and enter quietly through the roof. But the most interesting thing about this demo is the almost Darwinian approach to the story. Jin needs to abandon his teaching in order to not only save himself, but also his land will be fascinating to see unfold. But from a narrative and gameplay perspective, seeing how its plays into the game's RPG sequence mechanic of unlocking new weapons and ability will be very interesting in this historical setting, particularly from the studio that the best now of creating gorgeous worlds that focus on supernatural leads. Yes, it gives Ghost of Tsushima so more potential than I thought it had, and certainly this presentation sold in the far better light than its A3 trailers did, because of how much more room to breathe it's given. Yes, for the Ghost of Tsushima first impression is, in my mind, with Ghost of Tsushima immediately following that friendly, outstanding Last of Us Part 2 trailer during Sony conference, I was internally underwhelmed. Getting a concept it and having the Steam Second Punch guide me through the concept at much greater level of details. Now, I am now far more interested in what this game could become in the full gameplay. So, for the last, Ghost of Tsushima story, what is it about? While the trailer have revealed little in way of the details, the description of the video revealed plenty more the game. The year is 7040. Samurai warriors are the legendary defender of the Japan until the first Mongol Empire invades the islands of Tsushima, wreaking havoc and conquering the local population. As one of the last surviving samurai, you rise from the ash to fight back, but honorable tactics would lead to you victory. You must move beyond your samurai traditional to forge a new way of the fighting, the way of the ghost, as you wage an unconventional war, the freedom of Japan. Yes, that's all about my opinions. All of the review analyzing in this game was astonishing. Yes, I can't wait for any longer to taste this dope game. Okay, that's all about my video for today. Sorry for my breath is not unconscionably up and down somehow. Okay, thank you. See you on the next video. A la vista, baby. Bye bye.